What's going on, guys? Alex, and in today's video I'm going to be auditing a campaign live, live enough for you guys. I have not checked it out yet, and I'm just going to go through. It's a towing campaign, so that'll be in the title. And yeah, I'm going to audit the campaign, let you know my thoughts, just real time, let you guys know what's wrong with the campaign and what can be done to get it back on track. Actually, the tree is not on, so one sec, let me pause and let me turn the tree on. All right, that's better. And by the way, if you need help with Google Ads for your towing company or just your company at all, click the link below, book a call with me. I'm crushing it right now in the towing space. I got some case studies on the site. So yeah, let me just walk through the campaign here. So this is 1 day. I'm just gonna do a 30 days just to get an overview. So the cost per conversion isn't actually bad, right? That's about a third higher than it could be. In towing, you can get down to like 15, 18 bucks, depending on the area. But 30 bucks a call isn't bad, especially if you're closing most of them. Budget is a bit low for a month of data. And then what are we converting at here? 28%. That's not terrible, right? That's pretty good. It is a emergency service, so you're always going to have a little bit of a higher conversion rate. But overall, this isn't terrible. And let's just take a look into the account. See what's going on here, and we can just scroll down here to see what's going on. You can see just two of the campaigns are driving most of the results. Call only is interesting because call only is getting phased out. Obviously it's all mobile, right? All you also want to do here is just click conversions to look at just a really quick overview of the demographics. Yeah, it's pretty spread out. It looks probably not enough data to exclude anybody certain at this point. We'll jump into auction insights. This is bad depending on the conversion rate here. Yeah, so 6. Although this could be an area though. This could be an area. We'll check it shortly. Yeah, okay. All right, let's jump into the actual ad groups here to see what's going on. And the screen is huge for some reason. All right. So we are looking at quite a few ad groups for the budget, but I think there is a test campaign running. Was there 2 campaigns running? I thought I saw one. I don't know. Let's look at just towing. Cost per conversion, still not bad. Look, it's a little bit higher than the 30 days before, right? Which is interesting with conversion rate being higher. What you want to look for here is jump into the ad groups and see what's performing. He does have TCPA. Really interesting structure. What's the campaign structure actually? Let me pause because might give some information away. All right, a few big problems here. I mean, the performance isn't terrible, but I would be opting out of search partners for sure. Also, opting out of the AI targeting, which is really interesting to me that this is on. I'm surprised that it's working here. Yeah, and we do have everything is good. Everything is good. Hang on. Yeah, so we are in a target CPA. It's a portfolio bidding strategy. Also interesting. I'm going to see why there's 2 campaigns running as opposed to just having one with a TCPA of 34 bucks. It's not bad, right? I just don't know if the client is too happy with that. I'm going to check. But jumping into the ad groups here. For ad groups, looking at the cost per conversion, right away you would take tow truck out, right? I mean, you can extend this to the last 60 days to just really see. And let's do that for even more data. Right? Still not terrible, right? So it did perform a little bit better, but I don't know when the bid strategy was changed. But also at $60 a conversion and the rest are under 25 bucks, I would just get rid of that right away or try to figure out what's wrong. But looking at the other platforms, see the conversion data here. Cost per conversion is pretty low, so this is the one that's kind of driving it up. And the conversion rate on that is also going to be not terrible, right? But probably a higher CPC as well. Yeah, far higher CPC at $17 a click. That's going to be the problem with not setting a max CPC on a portfolio bidding strategy. If we look at the impression share data, so rank. It's probably just due to budget or the bidding. But still, for absolute top impression share, 35% isn't great, but the campaign's working, right? So we're showing up in the top of quite a bit. This one's fine, but we're just not bidding enough to get that kind of 80% impression, absolute top impression share, which you want. Could also be a hyper competitive market, but more than likely it's the bidding strategy. And let's actually take a look at the auction insights here to see who's in the actual auction. This is going to show you the advertisers, and yeah, there's quite a bit. There's 12 other people advertising. And surprisingly, top of page rate is pretty balanced. Impression share is also quite balanced, right? So it's going to be fast towing services, fast affordable towing, ASAP Auto Tow, and Dr. Wrecker as the main competitors. Position above, yeah. What you're looking at here is really top of page rate and then absolute top of page rate. It's not far off, but you can push these guys out and you can just command a far higher absolute top of page rate. So just take more of that pie by bidding far more aggressively, right? This is why I like to run manual CPC or just switch into mass conversions with a higher target cost per acquisition, just because it gives Google a little bit more leeway, a little bit more room there to bid more aggressively, and you can just push them out, right? So if you have a higher budget, even if you have a lower budget, but you have a more aggressive bid, and in this case, you know, these guys are all probably spending around the same, looking at the top of page rate, but I think he did have a $200 daily budget, but you can for sure start to push out probably this company and this company by just bidding a little bit more aggressively. Work on your landing page as well, so providing a better experience, and then bidding more aggressively on the mobile side of things. And so two things I want to check are jumping back into the campaign. If you look at the advanced bid adjustment here, there's no bid adjustment for a call, right? So we do have quite a bit of coverage here, but that can always be, 98 is fine. So the phone number is showing up, but you can still bid more aggressively. This doesn't show us the actual position in the results. So we could still push this a bit higher so that when someone is searching and Google is most likely to provide the call ads with the call feature, you would increase this. I would start probably 20% with looking at the competitors here, just because the cost per conversion is fantastic. And it's converting super well, and there's a little bit of room there. And then if we look at the actual results here, bid adjustments, yeah, only minus 100 for computers and tablets, but none for mobile. And as you can see here, we have a huge range here to bid more aggressively. Our average CPC is $8, which is on the low side. For right away, I would probably increase that by like 50%, right? So I would set like a 50% bid adjustment just to start to push out those two guys and have our ad showing at the very, very top most of the time, right? And that's going to make a huge difference when it comes to conversion rate. So you may be paying more, but if you just brought this up to like 36%, then that would negate the cost per click that you're paying, right? Because you're converting almost an equal amount. And you wouldn't be paying the whole amount of 50%. If you set it to 50% more, you're just going to pay 1 cent more than the next guy. So whatever they're bidding, and that would also bring your cost per conversion down as your conversion rate went up. And you're paying for higher quality leads, right? So I would definitely be making that. If we look at the search terms over the past 60 days, I'm not sure if they've been gone through it all. We have quite a bit. Let's just do all 500. I'm not going to touch anything here. Yeah, there's broad match showing, which is coming in from the AI Max, which I have not found to be useful yet, and does not look like the client is going through search terms. They did a little bit. So let's just also sort by impressions to see what we're showing up for and if there's any opportunities there. That's good. They're added. We have a bunch here. Tow truck in. Yeah, it's not terrible, but then you kind of get the broad match ones. He did get some of them. Covington, Snellville, and this is an area you're in, you would add that as an ad group. And here we go with AI Max. They have no idea what they're doing, right? Yeah, the broad match you'd want to get rid of. I'm going to have to check that as well. And if we look at which of the search terms converted, right, you see a lot of spend here, but the conversion rate is quite low. It's probably just the ones we already have. Yeah, it's mostly just ones we already have, which is telling you can just go almost full exact match, right? And if we just go back into the actual keywords for the campaign here, yeah, pause. So let's just add the enabled keywords. Yeah, towing company broad match didn't spend a lot. I don't know how much it spent. Where's costs? Right here. Didn't spend anything, so I'm wondering if that was just added. Yeah, but Conyers towing as broad match, it actually convert. I'm wondering if that's just the area or a brand. I'm not sure. But you would just sort by cost, right? And you can see that most of them did perform quite well, even if they were broad match. But I mean, I would still just never have this as a broad match because this one just didn't convert. But it spent a little bit of money. Winching as a broad match, you would get rid of, right? It's also thrown the campaign off. And now this is just the first campaign. There is also a call only campaign. And then looking at the ad groups, like I said, you want to break those down, get rid of the ones that are underperforming. The call only, it's just, I mean, it's working incredibly well, but you can see there's no data, right? It's 4 clicks. So it's why you wouldn't run these. I mean, you can run this, really supplementary, but it didn't really make any difference because you would have probably got those conversions anyways, coming in just from a standard ad, which would just show your, and even look at that, right? Even here in the call only ads, we're actually much further down, and these guys don't even show up in the other ads. So here you have to bid far more aggressively. It's working objectively, but there's just so little data. There's not really a whole lot to say, and it looks like it actually might have just been started. So for the time it's been running, it's been working fine, right? But I would still, let me just see this ad here. Yeah, really interesting structure. Let's go into the campaign settings really quick. I wonder if this is also set on AI Max. No, it's not, but it's opted into the right here, Search Partners Network. Yep. I would probably fold this into just the normal campaign, right? And yeah, no comments on the landing page. I don't want to give away the client. But overall, I mean, there's a little bit of work here that needs to be done. It's not terrible, but there's still a lot of room to drive costs down and start pushing out the competition, which is also going to be something to consider when you are running ads, right? It's not just on a single plane. You can also push out your competition and make them spend far more, right? You can make sure they're getting less calls and make them spend far more as long as you have a better structured campaign and a better landing page and you know that your clicks are going to convert. Right, so a few changes here I'd make. Probably structure the campaign a little bit differently, especially on the on this side of things, looking at what's not working. I like to add near me. I like to add some more specific location targeting, but really good performance here overall. But yeah, and it's just a few things that need to be changed. If you made it this far, guys, as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget, click the link below, book a call with me. Happy to take a look at your Google Ads campaigns. Happy to answer any questions you have about running Google Ads. And of course, see if there is any opportunity to work together to get you results just like this. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.